All right, I was born ready, bud. My name's Isaac Rosner, and this is DIY Speed. All right, well, tonight we have quite a few different things going on. Numero uno, get this to start and run, and the starter has an automatic starter on it. So let's just get you up to speed. I took the battery out. Battery's plumb dead, okay? It's got a remote, it's got a battery hookup, one of these clickers. It's got a pull start. I conveniently broke that. It will run. I know that because I gave it some juice and it ran. But there's gas in here and the petcock's open, which means something's clogged, ethanol fuel. So we got to take it's half full, but we got to take the gas can off. And then that'll give me access to everything else that's going on. And that's part of the issue. Fuel delivery, cleaning this tiny little carburetor, possibly. I don't want to have to do that, but we will if we have to. And figuring out if it's the starter or the starter solenoid that went bad. The second thing that needs to happen, which I addressed at the end of the last video, which it should be the first thing, but it's not what I'm going to do first. I want to work on that. This OBD plug needs to get wired into the PCM so I can delete the VATs so we could start this thing. And it's just that simple. Is it? I don't know. We'll see. It's all together. Everything's still here. I cleaned up a little bit. But yeah, okay, so that's the second thing. The third thing, I work on cars so often that I don't work on my own cars as much as I should. So the Tahoe needs some work, and I've been pushing it off. And I have some big news to share about it also. In a monumentous moment, we passed emissions. So my HB tuner skills are good enough for me to pass emissions in the state of Connecticut. I'll take that as a win. We'll just jump into this video. The first thing that we have to do is drain the gas out of this thing. Ah, yes, I have my handy apprentice here helping me pump gas out of this. Well, trying to just get it started. And this Harbor Freight siphon tool does not want to work. Which is, listen, just suck fuel through. That's all you gotta do. Just suck fuel through.
Go ahead. I ain't putting my mouth on that.
All right, no, huffing gas is... In case you didn't know, children, huffing gas is cancerous and not good for you. All right, well, I did nothing. I messed with the air compressor while this guy messed around with this, and only spilled a little bit of gasoline.
Not that much.
Not that much. And now we're flowing. So here's the thing. It was half full, and it's a 6.6 gallon tank. So I might have been strategically unprepared here with a 2.5 gallon. I don't know. Let's see. We might just fill it up all the way to the top. In other news, the gas is only slightly yellow, which means that it's good enough to run in all of my vehicles. So we talked about this before as a Ford generator, but really it's a Ford branded generator made by Poulan, P-O-U-L-A-N, and it's garbage. Ah, yes. Ingenuity at its finest. 0-weight-20 weighs enough to hold down that little fuel line. Oh no! Oh, dude, we're gonna have to fumigate. Yeah, stop. Whoa! All right, well, probably should have paid attention to that. This is full. All right, now that we've spilled gasoline all over, I gotta open a door, bro. We're gonna get fumigated now. We've had a mishap. It's not done pumping fuel, although we spilled fuel all over the ground. Oh, and not only do I feel lightheaded from huffing fuel like an idiot, now I'm going to be huffing even more. Wow, I just started through that. That wasn't intentional, but here we are. Hey, buddy, how you feeling?
I'm good.
You don't feel a little loopy at all?
Nope.
You're doing it wrong. You gotta yell when the fan's on.
That's sorry. Is this better?
Yeah, you just gotta yell the whole time. So we're running a fan because we spilled a bunch of gasoline on the floor and fumigated this entire area, which has now been defumigated through the magic of Pine Sol. So we now have a wet, but appreciably cleaner and better smelling floor. So now, after a side quest of what must have been 15 or 20 minutes, let's get back to work. All right, back on the Ford Puon generator. I have the Hollywood lights on, so we're blinded. I went ahead and took the 4 bolts that hold the gas tank in, so I think I could pull that out now. All right, we'll say down right there. All right, let's come on in and have a look at what we got going on over here. So we have spider webs and dead spiders. We have a throttle that's, I don't know what that is. Doesn't matter. Starter is what we're supposed to be looking at. So here's the starter right here. Where's the wires going to the starter? That's one here. Where's the starter solenoid? Ah, yes. Let me blind you with a tale. A tale of the Ford generator that did not want to start. Come on, have a look at what I have going on over here. I pretty much figured this out. And I will now give you a tour of my brain. So we have here a 12-volt battery. We have 20-something foot long leads hooked up to this. If you want to zoom on in it over here, my good sir, there is a green light on. But if we hit that, it's not doing anything. Now, one may think that the starter is bad or that the solenoid is bad. But I have my biggest available, this might be the biggest one I own, flathead screwdriver. And I think I have a way to prove that this thing has a good starter. All right, so you take that. So that works no problem.
Go on.
I don't know, but the starter solenoid not wanting to work with us has left us no choice but to use the pull start. Try and pull it again. Let's see if maybe the choke need to be open.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, you know she runs.
Yeah, it definitely runs. I didn't want to not confirm it runs. It definitely runs even with the pull start. So with an electric motor, it should be really easy to use. And yeah, we'll get the right parts ordered for it and send it back into service. In the spirit of recording these things out of order, I wrote some stuff down. The orange wire, 12 volt. Crimping moment. Now that's a crimp. Okay, well, we'll definitely be getting 12 volts to this wad of wires. Oh, a little bit of solder too.
A lot of bit of solder.
Oh yeah, solder, the first smoke I inhaled as a kid. Like, here, you can play with solder. Just don't breathe in the smoke, it's bad for you. This entire time, and multiple things have dawned on me since our last attempt, this is the engine ground, was never hooked up to anything. So we're smoking wires because we're not grounding this engine. That might also be, by the way, it could be an unlocked PCM. The guy I bought that from, it's very possible that it's already unlocked. So we got to ground it to the battery securely, the right way, ish. This ground also, I'm sure, is important. We should probably hook that up to something. And then I think we could fiddle around and it's not going to burn itself down.
Want to hook the orange wires back up?
Yeah, because we were melting other things anyway. So we should probably have the orange wires back. And we should also hook up all the grounds properly. I really should have been recording this whole time because we just got a lot done very quickly. But full-time power to the ECU and nothing smoking anymore because we pulled the smoking bandits out. So the starter's not it's not doing its thing anymore. Anyways, the OBD is also hooked up. We have 12 volts ground and the serial data port off the PCM right here. So I'm gonna go get a handheld OBD and see if that puppy fires up. I have a generic OBD. It's actually a Cobra OBD. The moment of truth. The moment I've all been waiting for. You think we did this right? And, oh my God. From one Chinese piece to another. There we go. Oh, I pulled the ground out. Let me ground this again. All right, I don't know, what conclusion did we come to? That the PCM is not getting power. And then we got stuck on a side tangent. I've been dealing with this in my own truck of what the frick is whining. And sure enough, it's the throttle body. What would make the throttle body whine like that? I don't know, but it's been driving me crazy in my own vehicle. And clearly this is something that these things do. So I have information, important information, that's gonna help all of us. Those orange wires that we disconnected because they were smoking in the last video, those are important. That's battery positive voltage to the PCM. B8, bait. Let's see, B8 is like, let's see.
So wait, let me ask you something. You're saying that the wires that we disconnected because we didn't like them are the wires that we actually needed?
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole reason we were burning wires is because we had wires we didn't need to connect it. Yeah, pretty much where we're holding. We're on to the HP tuners portion. All right, so it's connected. Map's reading where it's supposed to. Oh, TPS. Why don't you go grab is that still plugged in? Yeah, go grab the tach sensor and give it a squeeze. Let me see if I'll tell you if it moves or not. Yeah. You like squeeze that together. Oh yeah, 99%. It works very well. I mean, that might be a bad throttle body. Let's read the vehicle and see if VATS is turned off. Interface founder not responding. Oh yes, because you cannot do anything with editor while the scanner is turned on. Let's try that again. Pretty simple stuff. Let's just check to see if it's got VATS. Serial. None. I tell you folks, it's not cheap to buy those licensing credits. This $50 harness and PCM just became a $150. Woo! Ha-ha! That took like 10 minutes once you buy it for it to show up. But we have credits. Let me just make sure system, VATS control none, show license options, spend $100, already spent it, but now I'm assigning it, which means that I'm soul bonding to this PCM. If anybody wants to buy a PCM with VATS turned off, let me know. I have one. It's going to cost you, well, at least $150 in shipping. Oh yes, this is a big moment. All of this
I think this was it.
spaghetti. All of this spaghetti is finally coming together. We are...
Hook up positive to positive, negative to negative.
And turn on our fuel pump?
Just two tests. I want to
Sure.
see if our
Here.
connections are done right.
Listen, it's more important to film than it is to watch out for our safety, right? We didn't put the return on. I'm gonna assume it's gonna start spinning fuel immediately. So let's hook up the return real quick. And this is a low pressure return. That should not just spill out. Going the right way? Feel that hole close.
Pretty good. I'm not sure.
Some good old varnish. You can clean up a little bit of the gasoline now?
Absolutely.
Yeah, probably a smart thing to do. Just wanna give it a quick wipe. See if I could film.
I'm really in the mood of catching fire today. Oh yeah, it's pressurizing. Yep. The hose is hard.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we got hard hoses. It has oil in it. Fuel pump's right here, just needs to be hooked up. We're not gonna chop any wires up by doing this.
Hopefully.
Earmuffs. We're still trying to get the starter situation right where I touch the right things and the starter Bendix engages and this rolls over properly. Once he's done getting that all fiddle fucked around, maybe just hold the positive.
Yeah, it's usually gonna do that.
Yeah. Got to do the fuel pump positive also anyways.
Well, that's later. Let's first try to crank it. Oh.
I can't get it. Out of gas. Wow. Runs nicely. I stood up very quickly there. Yeah, when the exhaust started going down my shirt, I just like, let me boogie out of there. Very cool. Okay, so we know this works. Okay, let's try to be professional here. As a consummate professional, I will not scream like a little girl or lose focus with the camera. I will be decisive and hopefully not hurt myself or anyone else. Very nice. Very nice. That I saw flames out of all of the holes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Wow, dude, fucking did it. The only thing burnt in here is exhaust. We should probably air this out now. Who am I kidding? Let's do that again. I'm gonna close this door because I do feel bad for the entire neighborhood. Oh, yes, it's snowing for the first time of the year in Connecticut. That's a thing. Okay, well, third time's the charm. Dude, this thing barks right off. Really freaking cool, man. Barks right off.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. You ready? Mm-hmm. All right, I was born ready, bud. Fuck, yeah, that's awesome. Hell yeah, brother. On our way to making horsepower. Woo! Now those fumes, I'll breathe those in any day. All right, guys, I'm going to do the outro right here, right now. That's it. We started that engine. It actually runs really well for the computer thinking it's a 6-liter. Definitely ran rich, but I saw spark out of all the holes. So, I mean, that's really positive. It's been a hell of a time getting to this point. I mean, having to build the engine stand, which didn't crack, and took the revs without flipping over. Somebody told me it was going to flip over. To just fandangling this whole wire spaghetti system to get it to work from not knowing how to do it. So it really is the message of the channel. It's DIY. You gotta do it yourself and figure it out. So really happy with what just happened here. Really happy that this $150 LS engine runs like a champ. Now I gotta do some more fine tuning on the stand to actually run it for longer than a few seconds safely. And start to do real diagnostics on it. So tune in for the next episode. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe, and come back next time. Tell your parents about it. Tell everybody.